Welcome to LAC Sports Network's ongoing coverage of the European Lacrosse Championships from Budapest, Hungary. Coming your way right now, we have a matchup for 7th place between Team Scotland, who you see here on the roster, and the Netherlands national team. These two teams taking the field, just about ready for the first face-off as we take a look at the Netherlands team roster here. Scotland started the tournament with a game against Ireland, which they won 10-8. Went on to defeat Denmark as well as Norway and Austria, and then falling to Wales, finishing second in their group. Certainly an exciting time in the tournament for both of these squads. Netherlands team playing very well in the tournament as well, hoping to cap their tournament with a 7th place finish. This is a team that certainly is on the up and up. Love the orange uniforms, matching the rest of their national teams. You of course see the Netherlands in all orange, and Scotland in the navy uniforms with the white helmets as the official gets ready for the players to go down for the very first face-off. Van der Veerdonk taking the face-off for the Netherlands, going up against Rice Jeffrey. Looks like Rice Jeffrey jumped on that one. It's going to be Netherlands ball. Van der Veerdonk bringing the ball in. And like I said, this is a Netherlands squad that is certainly an up-and-coming team looking to make their way up to the 7th place in the tournament. And Van der Veerdonk, after winning the first faceoff, goes in, scores the very first goal of the game, just 31 seconds into play. What a finish. De Vries with the assist. And that is certainly how you want to start the game. A number of games that we've seen earlier on in this tournament have seen extended stretches with no goal scoring. Just yesterday through the semifinal games, we saw some real slow paces. During the quarterfinal, we saw Germany hold on to a lead in their game, 1-0, all the way through the first 30 minutes of that game. Van der Veerdonk with the win once again, and it looks like this Netherlands team wants to get out and run. Tweenhout with it now. Looking on the dodge. Netherlands squad looking pretty athletic. They're able to come out. Van der Veerdonk with the ground ball. Who's fighting off Jeffrey. See what the call is here. It's going to be a hold. That's a 30-second technical going against Jeffrey. In the international game, of course, all penalties are served completely. There are no releases on the penalties. One of the many rule differences between the international game and the collegiate and professional game. Van der Veerdonk misses the ball there. Looked like he had his eyes downhill before he caught it. That one picked up by Scotland going the other direction. Jamie Fleming with it as he sends it back across, as we see another call coming through. Let's see if we get a penalty here, and that's what it looks like. Van der Veerdonk, unnecessary roughness, going to sit down for a minute. Scotland able to kill the penalty, now back up to full strength. Both face-off guys already spending some time on timeout. It's our first look at Scotland's offense. Hadn't been on the offensive side of the field for the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds of this one. Scotland starting to move the ball around, get into their offense. Want to be on the lookout for Pesajewski, and there's a big goal from Scotland as they answer right away. And there you go, Cole Pesajewski from Ian Vickers gets on the board, and they make it 1-1 with 3 minutes gone in this first one. And you look at what Pesajewski has been able to do this tournament among the leading goal scorers for the entire thing. He is all the way up at number 6. 25 goals, 5 assists. Look for him to be a pure finisher and a guy that's going to score not only on the catch but on the dodge. And there's a win, and then we see the rule coming into play as Jeffrey couldn't get it out of the back of his stick. The Netherlands starting things up here. Verhaar bringing it up. You hear the fans cheering on their squads. Been pretty good attendance from these teams. This one of the few turf fields. A lot of the games taking place on natural grass. Something you don't see all that often in the U.S. Most teams playing on the field turf style fields. And there's a great ground ball. As that one finally picked up. To Noyne with it as he sends it all the way back. One of the other rule differences here for the international game, no shot clock, no stall. They can take as long as they want to move the ball up the field. We've seen a couple of teams, Switzerland and Germany, who will be facing off later today in the fifth place game, really slow the pace. And Germany, a team that didn't score a ton of goals in the tournament, I think did that to be able to control the offenses of the other team, make sure they could keep the ball on their offensive side as long as possible and just wear the defenses down. The Swiss, on the other hand, playing against England in the quarterfinal, slowed things down to try and stop the pace of the English national team. So a number of strategies in play for these teams, but Scotland and the Netherlands appear both ready to go right at the cage. More of an American-style run and gun. Scotland looking for the matchup. Pete Ross with it now, working on the shorty. Scotland looking pretty comfortable in their offense. Farrington now. Back up to Gilbrook and around the horn as Gilbrook gets it back. Scotland has dodged right at the short stick defenders on both possessions. They go into their rotation, overloading the top side, maybe trying to get an ISO down low. Great check, Cookies, as that one comes up orange. Bardawill able to bring the ball up, trying to get a break. Here comes Verhaar. Been very successful on the clear so far. Takes the shot, that one just off the mark, but it's going to stay with the orange. Thunhout nearly throws that one away. Gets some help from the box. McCormick bringing the ball in. We're in the iconic 2-2. You see 22 in orange. You start to think about the greats who wore it for Syracuse. Gary Gate, Ryan, Mikey, Casey Powell. All-time legends rocking the 22 on an orange jersey. Casey Powell playing in his final professional game this Saturday against the Cannons. Pretty exciting to see that one, big playoff implications. Sheprosky back into Tweenhout. Been pretty impressed with the movement offensively for Netherlands. And there's a shot from outside, low to high. Can't get that one to fall. Netherlands generating plenty of opportunities to get the shots off. Have only hit the cage once, but the one that did went in. You see Scotland playing way out on defense. Sheprosky. Now Van Baal. It looks like one of the players has taken a knock. That's Hoogieven as he makes his way off the field. Netherlands not wasting any time, still going right at him. And there's a look across the crease, but solid defense. Looks like it's going to stay with the Netherlands as Tweenhout able to pull it in. But again, you see that high pressure defense as Kaminski coming out with the ball. Not getting a whole lot of help as he's looking for an outlet. Finally gets it back to Ethan Harris. We see that pickoff pass by Kaminski. Pretty impressive stuff from Scotland. High pressure defense. See if they'll be able to keep that up all game. Not many of the teams going with that high pressure defense. We've seen a lot of zone looks. trying to force the teams to take shots from outside. Pesajewski, by far the most dangerous offensive threat for Scotland. Looking for some help down the line. Turns the corner, thinks about the shot, but the quick double is there. Matthew Carey has done well in his time with Scotland in the national tournament, the European Championship tournament. Scotland just settling in, still 1-1, plenty of time left in this one. There's the shot coming from Carey, just off the mark as that one sails wide. Going to stay with Scotland as they had the backup. Now Pesajewski. Vickers up top. Vickers assisted the first goal of the game and assisted the second one as well as Ryan Sage comes in and makes it 2-1 in favor of Scotland. 10.5 minutes to play in the first. Scotland out to their very first lead of the game. The quarters in the international game are 20-minute running quarters. The final 2 minutes have regular stoppages like you would see in the college game of the first 3 quarters. And in the fourth quarter, the final 3 minutes of the quarter will have stoppages. That's to prevent teams from throwing the ball away and just kind of wasting time. And there's a win coming the other direction. Van der Veerdonk gets it and try to make another quick shot. Looks like the official's going to call that one a pass, and it's going to be Scotland ball. Harris starting with it. See what the call is here from the official. And going and getting a little water break here. But as you see these squads coming together, pretty impressive work by both of them so far today. Pretty impressed with Scotland's high-pressure defense. It's certainly making things difficult for this Netherlands squad. They must have watched them play earlier in the tournament to really get a feel for what they're doing. High-pressure defense certainly going to cut down on some of the transition play. But taking a look at the European Lacrosse Championship rule differences, like I mentioned earlier, 4 quarters, 20 minutes each, going on running time until they get to the final 2 minutes of the first 3 quarters and the final 3 minutes of the fourth quarter. There's no penalty release after a goal. Many penalties in the college game will get overturned with a goal, but that is not the case here. If you get a penalty, you have to serve the full time no matter what. The substitution box is 10 yards wide as opposed to 20 in the NCAA. There's no shot clock and no quick restarts. You got to wait for the whistle. And probably the biggest difference is in overtime. There are 2 complete 4-minute periods and then sudden death for each subsequent period after that. So you're going to get 2 overtime periods, and if they're tied again after that, then they will move on to sudden death. Actually saw a 7 overtime game in the under-19 championships between Mexico and Thailand. Thailand coming away with the victory in that one, getting their very first victory in international play. So that was something pretty exciting for them. But Taiwan. But you look at these squads right now. Scotland out to the early lead. Netherlands has really shown their ability to pressure the ball, really go out there and push the issue, playing well, playing fast, trying to create as many shots as possible. Much closer to the college game we've seen, or the teams that we've seen have success in the college games. Your Brown, obviously your Tufts, teams that really like to move the ball up and down the field. Teams like Loyola as well. And we've seen Scotland try to counteract that with a defense that plays high pressure. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, we were talking about the zone defenses in the international game. That's something, it's a little easier to, I think, teach the zone defense than the man defense with all the slides and recoveries. That way, if you pack it in and you've got some pretty good play from your goalie, you can pretty much play with anyone. And so we've seen a lot of teams go to that to try and counteract some of the teams that had a little bit better talent, especially if their goalie is playing well. And that's one of the things we saw from Israel, a team that's playing for the championship against England on Saturday. That game will be right here on LSN. We've seen Israel go into a little bit of a zone look because their goalie Fisher, Eric Fisher, has been fantastic for them. Starting things back up here, Harris is going to bring the ball in for Scotland from behind the cage. And looks like the Netherlands might be in a 10-man ride here, forcing Harris to walk the ball up and finally going over to him. But interesting to come across as they are now matching feet and shutting other players off, trying to create a little bit of a mismatch, and that worked well. It looks like they had an offsides go against Scotland, so the 10-man ride definitely confusing the Scotland team. Van der Veerdonk looking for some help inside, trying to fight through the double, loses the handle. That ball still down. Van der Veerdonk steps on the ball. Unfortunate break for him. And there's the one-armed pickup by Matt Hill. That's not how they teach it, but still effective. See Scotland moving the ball up, trying to push the issue a little bit themselves. To Hanksky moving. And Pasajewski. Pasajewski doing a really nice job of getting up there and making a spot for his team to find him. Gets the shot off. Nice save by Bardawill. Scotland going for the quick shot as well, now able to settle into their offense, get their A unit on the field as Pete Ross coming downhill. Solid individual defense. The defense call from the sideline. There's the shot from outside. No problem for Bardawill as Tom Loke can't find the netting. DeVries bringing the ball in. Looking for help. Just looking at a 1-goal deficit. Still plenty of time to play here. Teams are going to want to try and keep it as close as possible. As Verhaar now pulls it out. Looks like he might like his matchup up top. McCormick coming downhill, working on the shorty. Now Rickoff, also with the short stick. Looks like he might want to go into the invert. By his man, looks for the shot, rolls in. Nice double. McCormick downhill, finds the back of the net. That one just over the head of Harris. And now it is 2-2 in this 7th place game. McCormick with the unassisted goal with 7 minutes, 10 seconds to play in the first quarter. And like I said, Netherlands looking pretty sharp on the offensive side of the ball, looking very athletic. And that's something that you can't teach. You can obviously help people with their stick work, but a lot of athleticism on display right now for the Netherlands. We'll see if Scotland can continue to match pace. See Josh Richardson down, taking a face-off, trying to slow down Van der Vaart, but can't do it. And that one right in the back of the net. That is 2 goals in about 40 seconds, which is not easier to do. Van der Veerdonk with the finish makes it 3-2, giving the Netherlands their first lead since 1-0. And 2 quick ones, that's got to be exciting if you're a fan of the Netherlands. And that's how quickly that can happen. And you look at those goals, and those goals 45 seconds apart. But it's incredibly difficult to score goals that quickly given the running time. That's about as close as you could possibly do it. Just as a comparison, you can score a goal in about 6 seconds with stoppages. Van der Veerdonk not winning that one. Looked like he thought he had the clamp, but heading the other direction with Jeffrey. But like I said, with the stoppages, you can score a goal in 6 or 7 seconds. But with the running time, you're going to need at least 40. Something to think about as the game goes on. Ian Vickers moves the ball to the sideline. Vickers assisted both goals for Scotland. Van der Veerdonk got to be careful he doesn't get a push there. Scotland looking pretty sharp in their offense as well. A little bit more of a pressure defense than I was expecting from the Netherlands as well. Both these teams coming out firing. That one wide, going to stay with Scotland as Pasajewski going to bring the ball in. Now Ryan Sage as they're moving the ball around. Just a reminder, this game fully interactive. Make sure to send me your tweets, comments, questions, anything you got. Nice trail check on Twitter at CMarshallLSN. Again, that is on Twitter at CMarshallLSN. That's going to be a penalty as we see some laundry hit the field. That one going to be on Vander Veerdonk once again for the illegal body check. That's his second minute penalty. Got to be careful as the game goes on. Inside of 4 minutes to play now. As Scotland with the opportunity on the EMO. Extra man opportunity here. Scotland looking for the pass. Look for that skip pass. See Pesajewski getting a lot of attention on the inside. They're going to want to try and find a pass, a skip pass, across the crease and get it into Pesajewski, who's quadruple teamed. All the orange shirts inside on that one. Probably an ill-advised pass, and it's going to cost them possession as the ball goes to the Netherlands. I think one of the reasons why you have to serve the full penalty is because of the running time. You know, you take your time getting the ball, you can take 10, 15 seconds off the clock, off the penalty, and that's a solid ride coming from Farrington as he gets the ball back for Scotland. Still man up, thinks about the shot, nice look inside, what a shot and save, and finally that one hits the back of the net as Scotland able to even the score up at 3. That one coming from Matthew Carey on the unassisted goal off the rebound. That's a fantastic finish by Scotland. Good field awareness as it didn't look like Bardawil was able to get his feet set. Didn't look like he ever saw that one coming. The other thing you'll notice from the shadows there of the tent and the trees is that's the direction that the sun is coming from. As a shooter, you definitely want to try and take advantage of the fact that the sun is looking directly into the eyes of the goalie. Give yourself a little bit more of an advantage shooting from the right side of the cage if you're Scotland. Of course, the left side if you are the Netherlands. Seeing a different face-off athlete for the Netherlands as Graham Rickoff taking his first face-off of the day. Ball still down. And looks like we're going to get a push here going against Scotland. Nice job by Charles McCormick getting himself in pretty good position for that one. McCormick, a native of Bronxville, New York, played 4 years at Georgetown, captain in 2015. He was a second-team All-Big East player as a sophomore. One of a number of college players suiting up for this Netherlands squad. Netherlands just settling into their offense. You have to think McCormick probably going to be the guy that's going to head towards the cage as he draws the pole. He's very comfortable. Quick double. Moves it up top. Hoogieven. Hoogieven, a pretty big guy out there. As he comes into the crease. Tonkin. Takes the shot in that one off the mark. We're coming to a close here in this first quarter. Netherlands would love to get one more goal going into the second. I mean, the biggest goals always at the beginning and the end of the quarter in terms of momentum. Nice rollback by Vihar. Vihar takes the shot, but that one just misses wide. Looked like Harris was in pretty good position for that one. Hawkins sends it up. McCormick again. McCormick loses the handle. What a great check coming from Goodwin as he de-sticks McCormick. Scotland looking for another one as Rice Jeffrey gets it. We'll see what the call is here. Looks like we might get another penalty as the official over at the table explaining what's going on. So it might be a timeout here as the coaches want to talk it over with their boys. And you take a look at these squads so far and really playing well. But just a reminder, all 84 of the European Championship games can be seen right here on LSN, your only source for European Lacrosse Championship coverage. Make sure to tune in and go to LacSportsNetwork.com/Euros. But yeah, definitely take the time to send in your tweets, comments, questions, anything you got to me on Twitter at CMarshallLSN. Love to hear where you're watching from. What do you think of the coverage and how excited you are just to be able to watch these games right here on Lax Sports Network. As you see the score there, 3-3, Scotland and the Netherlands all knotted up here at the end of the first quarter. Scotland with the timeout there, about 30 seconds left to play in this quarter. Probably trying to draw something up to see if they can get a goal here in the final moments. Scotland scoring a goal with just over 3 minutes to play. You hear the calls coming, and they're going to have to get something going here pretty quickly. Vickers, 2 assists already on the day. Off the pick play, looking for Pasajewski. Not giving him a whole lot of room as they go back up top. Here comes Carey. Carey scored the last one. Pasajewski with it. Solid defense by DeRuyter. And there's a shot offside. What a save by Bardawil, as that one just off the top of his stick. And that is going to do it for the first quarter of action. We've got a real barn burner so far. Scotland and the Netherlands all knotted up at 3 after trading early goals. Don't go anywhere. Still 3 quarters of action coming in the 7th place game in the European Lacrosse Championships.